It's been a while since we did a customer spotlight. Thankfully, the weather's getting better here, and we got our customers to bring their cars out of the garages. If you saw our Foxtoberfest coverage, you might recognize this car as we did show it to you, but now we're gonna tell you the story behind it. We got Bill here. I've known you 20 plus years probably, and I know this car has been through quite a bit in that time. Tell us about your 86.
It's 86. My brother-in-law bought the car brand new. I got it the day I got married in 95 with 16,000 miles on it. That Christmas, the car got broken into at a shopping mall, and that is the reason that car got repainted. So it's the same paint that's been on it since then.
So this paint job's from 96-ish right
Except
now.
for the hood and a couple touch-ups of parts that were missing when I found the car.
Wow, for 30 plus years old, it's pretty good.
So it gives the car character. I pretty much built everything on the car, except for the paint, because I got to leave some originality in it.
Okay, and then at one point you sold the car then after that, right?
Yes, my daughter was born. I wound up selling the car, I think in 97. I sold it to a good friend who then sold the car a few weeks later to made a couple dollars on it. And then I've had 52 Fox bodies, and I was always searching
I know you're like me, we've owned a lot.
Yeah, so I was always searching for the original feel of the first one. So I had feelers out for years on Craigslist and back then even Web TV looking for the car.
Oh, jeez. Yeah.
And one day I got an email that somebody says they think they've seen the car. It was being parted out in New Jersey. And went down, and I still had a key to the car. So the guy was pretty amazed when I
had the key work. You still
had
that's
a key
awesome.
for the ignition. So there was barely anything left. T-tops were gone, hatch was gone, engine hood, wheels, everything I had on the car was gone.
So even though it was that far gone, though, it was still worth it to you to get that car back.
I still wanted that car back. So the car still only had just shy of 50,000 miles on it at the time.
And why was it being parted? Just because, or was there a reason?
The guy that had the car, his family owned a shop. They wound up closing the shop. He thought the car was in storage. His family never paid for the storage on the car. And got towed to a garage somewhere, and the garage guy couldn't trace down the owners and just started parting the car out.
Okay.
To try to recoup some money and get it off his lot.
You know, for a while there, they were always worth way more in parts than they were whole. But yeah, it seems like that car was almost too nice to part out at that time.
It was at the time, but so I got the car back, and originally I put just a regular 302 in it just to get it running. Then we put a nitrous combination in the car, and kind of just had it parked for a bit. I was just getting kind of bored with it. It wasn't just where I wanted to be with it.
We all get there.
And then I just decided, you know what, I'm just going to build what I want. So over the past 3.5 to 4 years, car's been redone top to bottom, except for the paint.
So I was gonna say, I remember you had it off the road for a while. So I remember you hit us up for some parts you were doing, and it was a big build, obviously, which ended up with what we have here.
Yeah, I just wanted to take my time with it. Didn't want to have to do things twice. So I'd rather just save up and just do everything once, do it right, and just get the car together.
So obviously you know the history of the car. Tell us what's done to it now. I know it's come a long way.
All right, so we first started to do the cage, so we put a 850 cage in the car, did a mini tub, tube front end. Everything's pretty much new on the car except for the shell itself. Drivetrain-wise, not too much fans of the Pure, so I would put a
I know it's got an LS in it, yeah.
It's an LS 60 370. It's got mass heads, 85 millimeter turbo, single turbo 400, PTC converter. Rear's been narrowed, 2.5 inches aside.
9-inch, or is it still an 8.8?
So 8.8.
Still an 8.8, nice.
Yep, filled all strange, spool, 35 spline.
Okay.
Everything's in there, so we'll see how it's going to do this year.
And I know this car was down at Troy's for a while. We saw it down there. I think he did all the wiring for you down at Race Wires?
Yes, Race Wires did all the wiring on the car. Innovative Performance put together the engine, and Bird Cages in Lancaster did all the caging.
And you said a lot of your friends and people in the industry kind of jumped in when they heard the story that you got the shell back and wanted to build it, which is great.
A lot of people that knew the car and knew of it were pretty excited that I was getting this car back together. So I've had a lot of help along the way.
So the question everyone's going to ask, 3 actually, is how much power does it make, how fast is it gone, and how fast is it going to go?
We've only done so far 2 track days on the car, both trying to get some bugs worked out of it, but the car was locking up the rear wheels on a dyno for a trans brake issue. It still made 1100 to the tire.
Okay.
And we ran our best pass on a very mild boost curve. We had issue with the anti-roll bar, so we trying to get it to leave soft, and it's went an 1/8 mile, 562.
Okay.
And car should run
A lot of potential there, yeah.
Yeah, on very low boost. I think it was like 14 pounds. So
Okay.
once we turn it up, the car should run bottom eights.
Nice, nice. And what's the long-term goal? I know the cool thing about this car to me is I know you drive it. I saw you cruising around in Charlotte with it. I know you drive it around here sometimes too.
Yeah, the goal with the car in the end is to get the car started for 850s. I just wanted to get it to run 850s consistently on a mild, conservative tune-up, so it'll last, so I don't have to spend all the money again.
Mild, conservative, 1,400 horsepower, mid-8 second car.
Yeah.
Gotta love it. Thanks for bringing it out, man. We appreciate it.
Thank you.